The points battle is heating up with a fight for third in the standings between a two-man clash between Toro Loco and Bari Musauer. While Loco has the wow factor, Musauer has the consistency that gives him a slight edge. Then there's Colt Stevens, who's also in the hunt, who was plagued with transmission issues last round and hopes a new day in his hometown will bring a championship. But at the top, it's Ryan Anderson, who walks into round 6 at NRG Stadium with the hope of continuing to close the points gap between he and leader Tyler Menninga. This is Stadium Championship Series Blue. This is round 6. This is Monster Jam.
Let's go for the backflip, and he's gonna land it.
This is how we roll on tires that are larger than life.
Oh, he got the save.
Doesn't matter where you're from, it's running through your blood. Time to get loud, everybody buckle up. You waited, now you made it to the greatest show on dirt. It's the Monster Jam.
Beautiful.
NRG Stadium, home of the Houston Texas and Monster Jam's Colt Stevens, and the site of today's Monster Jam event. Good evening, everyone. I'm Leslie Mears alongside my broadcast partner, Adam Entiknap. And last round, it was all about Ryan Anderson. He put together his best night of the season with skills and freestyle en route to his second overall event championship. So, Adam, what did he get right on the track out there?
You know, I saw a lot of composure from Ryan Anderson. He got knocked out in round 2 of racing, but he still came back to win two-wheel skills and freestyle. He trails 32 points behind Tyler in the championship right now. If he wants to chip away at that lead, he needs to keep doing what he did last night.
Yeah, and the battle for third is kind of where it's at right now. And so we've got Megalodon's Corey Rummel, we've got Bari Musauer and Zombie, both turning in strong performances out there, finishing 3rd and 4th overall. Bari has a 9-point lead right now. So how do you see this battle kind of progressing into this round?
You know, the reason that Bari has a 9-point lead is because he's so consistent. He hasn't won an event yet, and I don't think we've seen the best of Bari, but he's there for a reason because, like I said, he's consistent, and Corey needs a little bit of that. He's 9-7 in racing, but he hasn't made it very far in that bracket. So what he needs to do is string those races together, carry a little bit momentum, and continue that through the night.
Yeah, and it's all about that overall. And you mentioned Ryan Anderson and the overall event championship, which he picked up his 8th of his career in Houston. And earlier, we caught up with the Son-Uva Digger driver in this UNOH pit report.
Houston's always been good to me for sure. I think it's a lot to do with that Texas clay, that really nice tacky dirt. I like that a lot. A lot of drivers don't. I love it. It's great for racing, which didn't show for me last night. It's awesome for skills. Like, it's almost necessary for the tricks that I try to pull that you have a really good traction. Last night, my run was just phenomenal. Everything was falling in place just right. I got the crazy combination off the backflip to moonwalk to wheelie, the rollover to save. I mean, all that stuff was just amazing. It was not necessarily me exactly planning on it to happen, but when the opportunity arose, I was there to take advantage of it. Last round, I did lay down a pretty good pass against Ryan Dishroom, but he was just faster. So I need to get through a couple rounds, get that monkey off my back, and then when I go against Tyler, I just got to go fast. I got to go crazy fast. There's no doubt, because Tyler has this track on lock. So once I can get him, once you can knock him off the throne, then I think it's going to bring everything back down to even playing field.
He's right. It's been tough for anyone to knock Tyler off the throne, and we'll see if Ryan can do it here. But there's also 10 other contenders to consider.
Yeah, Jim Kohler making his 23rd appearance here in Houston, and Colt Stevens, his hometown event.
Yeah, but he's got to try to avoid the hometown curse. He was plagued with transmission issues just one round ago, and so he's got to try to really put those out of his mind. Tyler Menninga continues to lead the field here in overall points this season. And of course, he has that 32-point lead over Ryan and 63 points over Bari. But things really start to get crazy here when you look at the next 5 positions there. 27 points separate those. So you could see a big swing in positions 3 through 7 just in this round alone. Our drivers tonight will compete in 3 competitions here: bracket style racing, the Great Clips Skills Challenge, and then of course freestyle. 12 points awarded to the winner, and we will total up those points at the end of the night to get our overall event championship. So Adam, this tacky dirt here has plagued drivers in round 5. How can they adjust today?
Well, it wasn't just the tacky dirt, Leslie. The dirt crew made some changes to the track that ultimately caused some challenges for the other drivers. When we talked to Ryan Anderson earlier, he spoke more in depth about the turns at NRG Stadium.
Last round, the dirt crew were putting 2 spots of sand in each corner. So in each corner, it gave you a slick, tacky turn, which they're doing it to try to help us from hiking up. So they're trying to help us out, but in my opinion, it honestly needs to be sand all the way through the turn so it's consistent. But that is definitely throwing kind of a curveball for everyone. If you pull into the turn, you feel the slick, you think you're comfortable, then it grabs another tacky section. And then once you get used to that, it goes back to slick and then tacky. So it's just kind of all over the place.
Well, we can't wait to see what adjustments have been made to the track and how the drivers are going to react here. But here's a look at our round 1 racing bracket. Lucas Stabilizer versus Zombie, Megalodon versus Avenger, Monster Mutt versus El Toro Loco, and then Thunder Roarus versus the Rod Ryan Show. What do you think for matchups here?
I mean, I love that Megalodon Avenger matchup. Team Scream going at it. Corey's 9-7, Jim's 5-8. You know, you gotta love that mentor rivalry. Corey Rumble always says in the past that, you know, when he goes against Jim, he knows it's gonna be an easy win. I love when they poke fun at each other.
Well, let's get right down to the track and get started as our drivers are lining up here for our first matchup between Bari Musauer and Cynthia Gauthier.
Off to a good start. Look at the differentiation in the color of the dirt. You can see the sand in the corner. Cynthia having trouble.
And I see that our drivers are going a lot wider this round. Last round in racing, they were clipping that turn pod on the inside. Bari just barely tiptoeing around that corner as he's going to take the win here in our first round of competition.
Cynthia flips the truck on the lid.
Let's take a look here at our Super Blue. Blue to the action replay.
You can see Cynthia comes off the race ramp. The ramp's so tacky, she gets sideways, gets on the sidewall, bounces one side to the other, and puts it on the lid.
And that could be critical to try to come back for the skills challenge as we move on to our next matchup here. This is going to be the one you talked about, Adam. Corey Rummel Megalodon versus Jim Kohler Avenger. And while this is the first time they're going to meet this year, last year Corey held a 6-2 advantage over Jim.
Corey pushes a little wide off the start, grabs that pod. Jim making a slight mistake in that second corner, pushing wide.
Yeah, and Jim just a little bit farther behind there. But Corey hits the turn pod, as I mentioned earlier, still crosses that finish line first, but we're seeing drivers still having trouble adjusting to the track here as Megalodon moves on.
Corey Rummel grabs that tacky dirt. He thinks the truck is going to slide out from underneath him in that sand, but it doesn't. Grabs the turn pod. Despite all that, he still gets the win.
So our third matchup here, we'll see Chris Kohler can have a better outcome than his father as he squares off here against Mark List. So primed off the pod, going into that first turn, looking pretty evenly matched.
Chris Kohler, nice on the inside of that first turn pod. That's going to be a slight advantage. It looks like there might be trouble for El Toro Loco, though.
Yeah, it looked like Mark tried to do a turn, shoot, turn, but then he's just pulling off the track, and so it's going to be an easy win here for Monster Mutt with the mechanicals there from El Toro Loco.
El Toro Loco putting on the brakes. He turns the truck, and it looks like he just doesn't have any throttle response. Hopefully that's not another transmission.
Yeah, this track has been eating those transmissions during the course of their stay here at Houston. Our final first round matchup, it will be Joe Foley in the Rod Ryan Show truck versus Houston native Colt Stevens here in Thunder Roarus. First time for these pair meeting, and look at Colt off the line fast and into that first turn and shooting great.
Joe pushes so wide off the start, but seems to be making up a little bit of time. Joe hits that sand. Oh, hits too much power, spins out, but something's wrong with Cole.
He's got issues as he just tiptoes across that line, creeping across the finish. I think if Joe could have gathered himself up with the mechanical there, it could have been curtains there for Cole, as we'll take a look at our replay.
That's why right there, just a big bounce, upset the truck. He tries to set it into that corner, but the sand is just too slippery. And then you could see Colt just rolling across the line. Is that another transmission?
It could possibly be. So here's a look at our racing bracket after our first round, and surprisingly fast times turned in by both Bari Moosauer and Chris Kohler, just super fast. And so we'll see what they have for our round 2 competitors that had buys that did not get an opportunity to take a look at this tricky track out here. So round 2 of racing is next. Tyler Menninga looks to extend his racing dominance as he goes for 18 straight wins when Monster Jam continues. Welcome back to Monster Jam in Houston. Fans here are enjoying a great time and excited for our second round of racing here. So up first is Ryan Anderson and Son-Uva Digger taking on our fastest driver from round 1, Bari Moosauer in Zombie. So I'm wondering here if this will be the lift, if Bari can continue being faster that he needs to try to get him to that overall event championship that he hasn't had all season.
Bari Moosauer slow off the line. Ryan Anderson with 2 perfect corners.
Going into the second set of turns here, Bari with a nice look at it, making some catch-up time here. And clearly, though, Ryan Anderson masters that final corner to take the win.
Ryan Anderson sets the truck right here, gets a little bit of rear steer, comes inside. Bari pushes just too wide, gives the advantage to Son-Uva Digger, and Ryan takes the win.
Our next matchup will have from Hiram, Georgia, John Gordon in Bad Company, and he'll face off against Megalodon driver Corey Rummel from North Jackson, Ohio.
This is a crucial matchup right here. Corey Rummel needs to win this bracket right here, right now.
And surprisingly, it's the first time that they're going to face off this season with the advantage to Rummel going into that first set of turns.
A little wide for Corey. John Gordon decides to stay tight, but gets a bad bounce off the race ramp.
Yeah, Corey being extra cautious around the edge of those corners, trying to make sure he can advance, which he does with that win right there. Let's take another look.
Corey perfectly around the inside. John Gordon clips the turn pod, but just cannot stand up to that Megalodon speed.
So 2 races down here in round 2, 2 to go, and that means Tyler Menninga will hit the track here, our series points leader. And now the big question is, can he keep that 18 race win streak alive? If he's gonna do it, he's gotta beat Chris Kohler. So off the box, evenly matched there into the turns, a little advantage to Gravedigger. Look at him slow it down though.
Yeah, Chris, I really like that first turn. Bad bounce for Chris. Grabs the turn pod up on 2 wheels.
That definitely gives the advantage to Tyler as he sachets right around that corner. And Menninga takes the win as we'll take another look at it here.
Tyler Menninga pitching that truck just perfect. Monster Mutt grabs the turn pod. Looks like he might get a 5-second penalty for not riding on the race ramp.
So our final matchup will have Ryan Disharoon in Shaker against what should have been Colt Stevens in Thunder Roars, but the transmission annihilated there. So a second opportunity here for Joe Foley in the Rod Ryan show truck to try to advance in racing.
Ryan Disharoon off to a good start, whips that truck around using the rear steer in the sand just perfectly.
Evenly matched here at the midpoint.
Here we go. Who's it gonna be? Last corner. Joe makes a big mistake. Grabs the pod.
So Disharoon advancing here in Shaker. Little over rotation there in that corner by the Rod Ryan show.
Ryan hitting the race ramp just perfectly. Joe grabbed that turn pod, putting him at a slight disadvantage and can't come away with the win.
So here we go for the semifinals. Son-Uva Digger versus Megalodon. Gravedigger versus Shaker. Are we going to see Tyler Menninga extend that streak to 19 in a row here? It's going to be an epic battle to try to advance here in the finals. When we come back, the final 4 hit the track in racing, and then it's the Great Clip Skills Challenge next. Welcome back to NRG Stadium in Houston for the Monster Jam Racing semifinals. So on the track now, it'll be Son-Uva Digger's Ryan Anderson versus Megalodon's Corey Rummel. And Ryan with the fastest time last round gets lane choice. How important is that?
It's so important. Ryan Anderson going a little wide. Corey Rummel with a good start. It looks like they're almost dead even at the halfway point.
And it's interesting, Ryan chose the lane where he hit those turn pods first, so he had time to make up just like he is right here.
Corey Rummel grabs the turn pod. Looks like the whole left front wheel of the truck's missing. He grabs the turn pod, slides a little too far inside. There goes that right front wheel. Huge disappointment for Corey Rummel and Megalodon.
Yeah, breaking it right off at the knuckle, and it'll take him some time to repair that, but crew's really great back there. They'll be back. So we'll bring it to our final matchup here. So it's Gravedigger versus Shaker, a rematch from the last round where Tyler beat Ryan by 10 seconds.
Shaker goes a little wide. He's not going to have the apex that he wants in that corner. Gravedigger looking good.
It could be an upset. But Tyler Menninga just too much there on that last turn. And we're seeing a trend here that the lane that Menninga was in is the one you want to be in to finish without that turn pot out.
Now what I'm watching here is I'm looking at Shaker and he's slowed down at the finish. There's some sparks at the back of Ryan's truck.
Could be some drive shaft or some transmission issues there. We'll keep you posted. So it's another Team Gravedigger finale, Ryan versus Tyler. And in that last race, Tyler had the fastest time of the night. And so he'll get lane choice. Adam, what does Ryan need to do to end Tyler's winning streak here?
He has to be cool, calm, and collected, but he also just straight up has to be fast. Tyler has been so good in this racing competition. Ryan has to lay it down. He has to put it all on the line.
And he's also got to not hit the turn pod, which we've seen everyone else do all night long. So the main event matchup here, Menninga versus Anderson. And so Tyler, once again, looking to make it 20 racing wins in a row and get his 7th straight competition win.
Oh, both the Gravedigger boys are looking solid. Ryan goes a little wide, but he's got a straight shot, though perfectly matched at halfway.
So the way the track is acted, Tyler has the advantage here. Look at Ryan, so careful around that corner. He misses the turn pod. So close here in this finish. It looks like they're going to call Ryan Anderson our winner as we take a look at our replay.
Here comes Tyler, a little inside, and Ryan Anderson steps on the throttle in the last corner and gets it done.
Look just how close we're talking here, and out to hundredths of a second to take that win. So Ryan ends Tyler's winning streak here, and he will get 12 points to put himself on top of our BKT overall point standings leaderboard here, and the rest will follow. So let's go down trackside. We've got Lindsay Noble with Ryan Anderson, our racing winner.
Congratulations to Ryan Anderson and Son-Uva Digger, powered by Hoonigan, on a well-deserved racing win. Having chose that right lane almost the entire time, having to go to the left, what adjustments had to be made last minute?
Man, I knew once I got thrown in that other lane, that means Tyler had the faster pass than me on that round before. So I knew I had to step it up. I was ragged edge 100% on that pass because I knew Tyler's bad fast. He's got that crazy streak he was on. That is once in a lifetime streak. And I'm sorry I had to end it, Tyler, but at least he was part of the team. But all in all, no matter what, that final round right there was a win in itself. When it's both diggers in the finals, we're happy.
So the streak is over, but the night has just begun. So next, it was the Great Clips Skills Challenge, and drivers got to attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels or 1 donut, being judged by the fans on creativity, skill, and execution. 12 points going to our leader here, and coming up in 5th place, it was Joe Foley with the Ryan Show with a textbook slap.
Look at the 90-degree angle straight up in the air for Joe Foley.
Another combo here for Ryan Anderson in 4th, bicycle to wheel.
Grabs the bicycle in that tacky dirt. Such a big advantage in the 2-wheel skills to have that here in Houston. Gets the combination really just holding it wide open up the side of that jump.
In 3rd, John Gordon receiving an 8.305 with a long nose wheelie.
Look at the balance. That thing is perfectly straight up and down.
Mark List comes in 2nd here with a popper to moonwalk.
Mark List sets the truck at 90 degrees, gets that nose wheelie, a little bit of a moonwalk, but can't get it on top of the step up.
Yeah, Tyler just outclasses everyone here with a 9.457 in Gravedigger.
Such a classic bicycle for Tyler, just keeps going and going and going. and then he starts it again. Oh man, it's crazy here in Houston.
And that's why he's the combo king. So we'll take a look here once again at our BKT overall point standing. So a shakeup just a little bit. Ryan Anderson falling back just 2 points behind Tyler Menninga here, with Joe Foley in third, Gordon in third, and Moosauer in fifth. Well, we are halfway through round 6, and when we come back, we look ahead to freestyle here on Monster Jam. NRG Stadium hosting round 6 of the 2023 Monster Jam season. Welcome back inside the Monster Jam studios. I'm Leslie Mears alongside Mr. 722, Adam Enticknap. And Adam, it's like deja vu all over again with Ryan Anderson and Tyler Menninga dominant early on. And last round they finished 1 and 2. Looks like they're poised to do that here again on top of the leaderboard. Is there a way to stop the digger domination?
I mean, not here in Houston. This tacky dirt, these two boys are just thriving here, and I think that's a testament to their skills.
Yeah, another disappointing night, though, for Ryan Disharoon. He came out and had the truck running well, going all the way into semifinals against Ryan Anderson, but we saw those sparks, and mechanical issues still plague that team. So how long is it going to take for them to finally get the bugs worked out?
You know, I have no idea. It is so frustrating. At this point, it just makes you want to walk away. I've been in this exact space in Supercross before, and you get so frustrated. You spent so much time. You spent so much money. That shaker truck is beautiful. And I think the most frustrating thing is that he knows he has a good truck. That's the hardest part about it. Those Metal Shop boys, they'll be back, but they're frustrated right now.
Meanwhile, you've got Joe Foley. He's putting together a solid rookie season here. We're seeing some great stuff for him. He replaced Colt Stevens in round 2, and now he's only trailing our leader here by 7 points. So what does Joe Foley need to do here, looking at freestyle, to put himself in contention?
You know, he is a rookie to Monster Jam, but he's also done the independent circuit. So you're kind of seeing that from Joe Foley. He's pretty good for his rookie debut in Monster Jam. But I think the big thing is Jim Kohler owns that truck. And I don't know if he still has the reins a little bit on Joe Foley. I'd like to see what happens if Jim Kohler just says, hey, Joe, go for it.
Yeah, and I think the answer to that is Jim tells Joe, you break it, you fix it. So it's just extra hours for him out there.
Yep.
So we'll take another look here at our BKT overall event leaderboard after 2 competitions. So 2 points separating Tyler and Ryan at the top, and then 7 points off our leader all the way down there to 4th place. Okay, so here's our freestyle running order. And speaking of, Ryan Anderson has chosen his magic spot. He's going to go 9th out here, 4 spots from the bottom. That's the highest that he could move. And so is he concerned about Tyler being before him out here?
You know, I got a chance to talk with Ryan, and Ryan is very concerned. If Tyler lays down a big run in the middle of the freestyle order, it affects the judging in a huge way, especially towards Tyler. When you see a big run like that, you get a massive score. Everyone that follows is judged so harshly, making it almost impossible to beat him.
And part of that judging in freestyle is judging the backflip. And last round we saw 8 backflip attempts out there. 5 of those either didn't land or led to breakage, which ended runs out there. So it's also a risk-reward move, and it seems to intensify here in Houston. Adam, what adjustments can drivers make to successfully land those backflips?
You know, one of the big things that I'm seeing is you have to line that backflip up perfectly to that container. This dirt is so tacky. If you land on one wheel or you land a little bit crooked, it's almost guaranteed to break. And with that backflip attempt being successful, I think that is really what makes your freestyle run even better, because after that, you get to keep going and get an even bigger score. So landing that backflip is super important.
Right on here. It's time to start the final competition of the night. So let's head back to NRG Stadium with Columbus, Michigan's own Chris Kohler, and he'll kick things off for us here in Monster High. It's really been cool, Adam, to see him finally get all of the kinks worked out and have the truck working with him rather than against him.
Yeah, it's been a little bit different. I got a chance to talk to Chris about this truck, and that being a brand new truck. And he said he put the exact same suspension setup that was in his dad's truck in his truck, but it reacted totally different. So they've been adjusting those shocks the entire season, trying to get it right. And it seems week in and week out, it's getting better and better.
Yeah, one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that there's not a lot of practice that goes into Monster Jam. I mean, they get 1 day of racing practice before the event, but that's really it. Otherwise, you're doing your practice and your adjustments and tuning during your freestyle competition right now.
Chris carrying some good momentum. I'd like to see him speed it up just a little bit. Some harsh landings, definitely still dealing with a little bit of suspension. So far, so good.
Yeah, and he's the first one out, so he gets to set the bar. And so how hard is that, Adam, to be the first one to come out here to try to set the tone for freestyle without going too big to end your run early? How hard is that?
It is so difficult. It can be such a big advantage, but it also can actually slow you a lot because these people haven't seen the freestyle yet, so they don't know what to expect. You have to either go out here and go huge, and in Houston, it's extra hard because the trucks have been braking so easily.
Well, it looks like Chris Kohler is going to try to cap off his freestyle with the backflip.
Ooh!
And there's the landing he talked about. Can he save it?
There he is! Nice save. He under-rotates the backflip, but gets a good bounce with a little combination move.
And talk about setting the tone here with the 9.181 as we take a look at the replay.
Under-rotates, hit the front BKT tires with a huge bounce, sets it on the nose and throttles out.
I don't know when the last time I saw a 9 to kick off freestyle was, but it's going to happen here in Houston, which means anything can happen. And up next, it's Houston's own Colt Stevens, and he's hoping here to play the hometown hero. Now, we are hearing that he's got a fresh transmission in that truck, so he is right and tight and ready to go.
I like what I'm seeing from Cole right now. He's on the throttle. He's got a little bit more momentum than Chris. Way to start his freestyle run out here.
And do you think he's a little bit more amped up because he did miss that skills competition in his hometown?
Well, he has to be more amped up. He didn't get that adrenaline kind of, dissipating because he didn't get to go out there. And right now, he knows I didn't get to go off the skills, so I gotta do something big for freestyle in my hometown.
Getting some big air here, going for another nice jump. Little combination there to the center pod. Working cross track.
Yep, avoiding those landmines. Gets onto the pod, slows it down a little bit. Nice technical move from Colt.
Again, other than the transmission issues, it seems like Colt has this truck dialed in.
Yeah, he's definitely getting more and more comfortable getting all the controls where he wants them. A little side flap coming off of that pod a little earlier.
Into the slap wheelie, a nice combination. You can tell by the big run up that he was taking. He was going to do something on that.
Yeah, the crowd's loving it here. Onto the pod, off, slow it down. There you go. Nice job, Cole.
Rhythm, a huge factor here as he's going for the backflip.
Yep, this is what we needed. Oh my gosh, that's a huge backflip. Under rotates. Can he save it? There it is.
A backflip to a rollover on all 4 BKTs. Looks like he's got a little bit of time left, so he's going to throw it in reverse and continue.
There you go, Cole. Keep it going.
Let's see what he's huge air straight up. Great brake shake in the middle. He's cased the center pod, though.
Comes down on those back BKTs hard, but still keeps going, Leslie.
And he is going to bring Thunder Roars to a stop in the quarter. It's going to be a 9.524 for Colt Stevens.
Look at this backflip. He looks like he's going to be perfect. Under rotates just a little bit, gets a bounce, gets it on the nose and saves it. Let's go, Colt Stevens.
What presence there. Colt Stevens has the lead. Can he hang on for the win? Find out when freestyle continues next. Welcome back to NRG Stadium as we continue with round 6. While we were away, 3 drivers attempted their freestyle runs. So here's some highlights of what you missed here. So Ryan Disharoon in Shaker rolls over after a transfer jump with lots of time left on the clock. Mark List and Toro Loco got in some technical moves and had a great save here, but did not receive the score he wanted from our judges.
Toro Loco trying to get some technical moves in there, throws the wheelie. Nice job from Mark List.
And next year it was Joe Foley and huge air, but fell off just a little bit with some time left on the clock.
Oh man, breaks that left front wheel off. That's what we were talking about with Jim. He's got a little extra work tonight.
So now that you're all caught up, we'll jump back into the action. Our current series and our current event leader, Tyler Menninga, in Gravedigger in an early spot here in freestyle.
I love the speed he always carries. We see it time and time again.
It's all about that rhythm, and you've got to figure out how to get those combinations put together, backside those ramps like he does right there, to continue on your run with fluidity out here. One thing we have seen from Tyler is that he just does not stop, and he comes up with something different and unique. However, he's up against that huge score from Colt Stevens and that momentum, so how's he going to top it here?
You know, he just has to do what Tyler does, and like you said, he has to get from jump to jump quickly. He has to keep these fans entertained. He has to keep our fan judges wanting to give him a big score, and that's keeping that truck really loud, keeping the revs up, keeping the momentum, and a lot of high-flying action.
And we're hearing that digger throttle rhythm, too, that is so unique as he goes for the backflip a little early in the run. Great chick, tries to go for a little bit of a walk the plank there as he tries to go into the popper, but the most important part, he keeps it on all 4 BKTs.
Yeah, that was probably the best rotation we've
finesse,
seen.
look at that.
Yeah, Tyler showing off his 2-wheel skills.
And those combination moves are going to bode well with the judges, but will it be enough there? Remember, our score to beat is a 9.524.
Yeah, what we see week to week is the judges really love a combination of moves. They don't want to just see big air after big air. They want to see everything in your repertoire like that. Oh my gosh, Tyler, that is amazing. He's on 1 wheel.
Look at him teeter-tottering back and forth on those front tires with just such great control. I mean, that's unbelievable.
That was so technical by Tyler.
So the judges will reward him with a 9.444 as we take a look at our Super Blue Groups, the action replay.
You can see a nice rotation by Tyler on that backflip, and here's that 2-wheel skill that we were talking about. Gets it a little bit on a bicycle, sets it into a nose wheelie. Unbelievable move by Tyler.
So we're not through yet with Monster Jam action. More high-flying freestyle is on the way next. You're watching Stadium Champion Series Blue here at NRG Stadium in Houston, and Tyler Menninga is your current leader on this series. And for a chance to meet the series champion, head on over to monsterjam.com where you can get your tickets to Monster Jam World Finals. And moments ago, Cynthia Gauthier and John Gordon completed their freestyle run. And you can see here, Gauthier blows a tire with 66 seconds left in her run, ending her freestyle competition. And then John Gordon here with a backflip attempt, just couldn't stick the landing, and he'll get a 7.605. So next up here, last round's event champion, Ryan Anderson and Son-Uva Digger, powered by Hoonigan, hits the track with some big air. So with Tyler currently in second place, Ryan would need to take this freestyle lead here to still have a shot at the overall event championship.
It is going to be so hard for Ryan to top that run that Tyler just did. Like we talked about earlier in this freestyle lineup, he has to do what he did last round, and that's a perfect put-together freestyle run.
And I think he's got a little bit more confidence, though. He said earlier that in racing he was kind of getting in his own head. I think he's got that out of the way. And how much difference does that make when you've got such a complete event going for yourself? Your confidence get bigger, or is it just kind of the same?
You know, it's not even, for me, it wasn't the confidence, it was just the momentum and the not thinking. It's like everything is going my way, and it just feels like it keeps going your way. So that's really what makes it so much easier.
Definitely some great landings here, some big air, some wow factors so far in freestyle going his way. So good on that combo to the center pod and then off.
Ryan putting together a good freestyle run, but it's not what we've seen at the last round here in Houston. Nice little combination move, getting the stopping, but not the big air that we've seen.
Yeah, that step up is lending itself to some nice moves over there as they can hit it really hard. There's a little bit of finesse of a wheelie off that, a little bit of a hard landing, very jarring as he whips around to the backflip ramp with the carnage in the corner over there.
see if he can get a combo move. Perfectly rotates the backflip, lands on all fours, and takes off.
Sets himself up great for this huge air move to the pod. Can he keep it under control as he hits the step up? He does.
Look at that little wheelie he added after the pod jump. That was so awesome. Throws it into reverse.
Uses reverse to his advantage. Usually it doesn't look that good. And here's a rollover. Can he save it? That will end the run here for Anderson, and he'll fall a little bit short of Menninga at an 8.641.
There's that backflip, perfect rotation. A little bit on that right side, but solid run from Ryan Anderson.
So next up here in freestyle, it'll be two-time World Finals champion, Mr. Excitement, Jim Kohler.
Look at him using that extra engine that we've talked about all season. Man, I love Jim. 23 appearances here in Houston. That is just unbelievable.
Yeah, we've been at NRG Stadium for the last 20 years, and the Astrodome right next door before that. So a rich history with monster trucks here in the Houston area for sure.
Jim doing a little bit of cross-threading there, showing us something different. I like that.
Yeah, Jim is known for being just a little bit different. Got a little bit of lean on. Looks like he's got a sway bar that needs reclocked there on that side. That landing should do it for him. And you'll notice too, Jim's truck sounds a little bit different. A little bit different motor for him this year. A little bit more horsepower that he's got out there on that heavy truck to help him launch it a little farther.
You know, something that I'm just lacking that I think the judges are also going to see, the fans, is he doesn't have as much momentum as I would like. He's not carrying the speed. Nice sky wheelie, lands it on the back tires. But just, I need him to pick up the speed in this freestyle run.
Yeah, and he's always been just a little bit more contemplative and calculated. Oh my gosh, he clears the step up. Look at that nose wheelie.
Oh man, Mr. Excitement himself.
And I want to say that that's the first time I've seen Jim throw those combos like that, those technical moves into his freestyle, and just showing how much he's growing and continuing to grow in his illustrious career. The corkscrew backflip off the 8-pack. What is next?
Jim is going off here in Houston. I love it, Leslie.
Let's take another look at it here.
Gets a little sideways corkscrew backflip, but a huge sky wheelie. Look at him. He does that technical move, but I think he had to, Leslie.
Yeah, good enough for the top 5 there for Jim Kohler. As we take a look here at our current freestyle leaderboard, we've got 2 left there at the bottom to go, and it has been nothing but pure excitement so far here in our freestyle. So with 2 left to go, can Bari Musauer or Corey Rummel spoil the Colt Stevens homecoming party? We'll find out when we come back. We are back with more Monster Jam in Houston, and before we get back to the action, let's take one more look at our BKT overall event leaderboard after 2 competitions here. So Tyler Menninga still on top, Ryan Anderson, but we've got 2 spoilers yet to go here, Adam.
Yeah, Bari Musauer, I am looking forward to that freestyle run. He's the winningest freestyle driver last year, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
We're going to see Corey Rummel first, though, and he is our former Extreme Air Award winner, and he'll be piloting Megalodon here in freestyle.
Corey Rummel starting off tonight with a little bit more momentum in racing, making it to that semifinal bracket. Let's see if he can carry that into freestyle.
Yeah, he just said he's felt like he's kind of been in a funk lately. He's not sure what's going on, but just struggling. And, you know, I suggested, hey, why don't you listen to music during your freestyle like Jim Kohler, because that's one of the things he does. Because I might have to do something a little bit more extreme than that to get myself pumped up and kind of out of this funk that I'm in right now.
Yeah, as an athlete, whatever you have to do to turn that light switch on, you just gotta do it. It doesn't matter if it's music, jumping jacks, punching something on the wall, whatever it might be, you gotta get yourself going.
And it looks like he's going to go for a combo here in the middle of the run to try to get it going. I do like how our drivers have finally figured out how to shoot that gap effectively to get more momentum coming up to the next hip.
Getting that race ramp in reverse, a nice little air. I'm going to need him to speed it up, do something bigger here.
Oh, and he's going to go big right now. He's going for the backflip early. execution gets a little bit of help there from the barrier, but I do believe because he tagged it, they are going to shut off the truck for safety reasons. So that'll be it there for Rummel at an 8.573.
Here he comes into the backflip. You can see that left rear tire does something funky off the backflip container and just kind of pitches him right into the side of the stadium.
Well, you mentioned Bari. He is our final competitor, so he'll get his opportunity to shine. And, you know, he said he really doesn't mind going last in freestyle because you've seen everything that you need to see out there, and you can kind of decide what the fans haven't seen and add that to your run to really try to get your score up a little higher.
Bari Musauer, yeah, he's so technical, and being able to see those other guys and what they're doing, we know Bari goes out and walks the track and has a plan. And if he sees the other drivers and he sees what it took to get a big score, a little side slap there. If he sees what it takes to get a big score, he can add that to his run and do even better than he would have before.
Some big air launches here. What I'm loving from Zombie, though, is the fact that this truck is landing more effectively and it's still going. But we come to a brief stop here.
Oh, the official shut him off. I thought I seen the left light blinking, Leslie.
So they're going to try to refire him, and he's going to have another chance at it. But what I was saying is that truck is landing much better, which we did not see early on in the season. So a better shot pattern for Bari.
Yeah, nice and square, got a bad bounce. It is so hard, though, in this tacky Houston dirt, even if your truck is working good, to get that thing to stay on all fours.
So he's going for the backflip here. We've seen great execution tonight, so he's seen what he needs to be effective, as he does. But once again, a little bit of a stall, and I'm not sure if maybe he's got a mechanical in there or that's our officials taking a look at some safety concerns here with Zombie.
A nice air onto the pod. He's coming close to the end of his run. Keep it going, Bari.
The huge air had to account for something here in our scores. We'll take a look at our replay.
I love this from Bari. This is a perfectly executed backflip. I like how he over-rotates just a little bit, landing on those rear tires. He must have watched the other drivers.
So now let's take a look here at our top 5 freestyle board. Colt Stevens getting it done here in his hometown as Thunder Morris stands on top with the win. And then Tyler Menninga, the teeter-totter finesse, and Gravedigger takes second. Bari Musauer with some big air and an awesome backflip gets third. And how about the rookie Chris Kohler in Monster Mud? A top 5 finishes. He is fourth tonight. And then big air from Jim Kohler in Avenger to round out your top 5. What a freestyle event. So there's lots of excitement down on the track. So let's head to Lindsay Noble with Colt Stevens.
The excitement here is clearly underestimated. You guys saw this entire team come down. What does that moment feel like to have your teammates and competitors hug you like that in your hometown here?
Oh my God, Lindsay, this is absolutely amazing. 10 years I've been driving these Monster Jam trucks. My whole life I've been coming to this show, and this is an absolute dream come true. My entire family's here. They're sitting right up there. I'm so excited. I cannot believe it. Freestyle win here in Houston. Yeah, baby!
So it's been 40 years since a Stevens has won freestyle in Houston, and our second-gen driver and former broadcast partner gets it done out here. I couldn't be happier for him. So he gets the 12 points there, but it's Tyler Menninga at the top once again with 34 points. Ryan Anderson in second, Bari Musauer in third. The freestyle victory puts Colt in fourth, and Joe Foley with a solid night will finish in fifth. So now let's head back down to the track with our round 6 overall event champion, Tyler Menninga.
Man, what a crazy night out here in Houston. Started out in racing, lost my streak, lost it in the final to Ryan Anderson, my teammate. Skills was actually really good for me tonight. I rode out 2 awesome long bicycles. Ended up getting first place in those, so that was really needed in the points battle here. Freestyle, I was not a huge fan of my freestyle tonight. I think I was just a little bit off of my usual freestyle pace, not even my speed, but just the way I was doing stuff. So I think next week I'm gonna work on that. It's kind of hard to change things up on this track, I found. So find a groove, stay in it, and hopefully carry that with me.
So that's it for Houston. Up next, this series heads to the racing capital of the world, Indianapolis, for 2 rounds at Lucas Oil Stadium. For Adam Enticknap, I'm Leslie Mears. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you right here next time on Monster Jam.